Hello Community Kids, my family and I are here at the Wildlife Sanctuary, and as you can see, Mr. Mark and Gavin are trying to skip rocks. And whenever I see these rocks skipping across the surface of the water, it makes me think that Jesus walked on water. Did you know that? He did. One day his disciples were out in a boat and they were fishing and Jesus was on land. And he just started to walk on the surface of the water right up to them on the boat. Now, the disciples were scared. In fact, they thought he was a ghost. So Peter asked, "Hey, if that's really you, Jesus, ask me to come out to see you. Ask me to come out and walk on the water." So Jesus said, "Yeah, come on out. It's me." Peter started to walk on the water just like Jesus. But guess what? He got distracted and he started to doubt in the wind and the waves and he started to sink. And Jesus was like, "Oh, why did you doubt me?" So we're going to now look up a Bible verse. We're going to read it in the Bible, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to learn more about this lesson.
Hello Community Kids, it's time to look up our Bible verse. This week's Bible verse is Matthew chapter 14 verse 22. So you guys know the 4 steps to look up the Bible verse. Step 1, turn to the table of contents. Step 2 is we have a decision to make. Is Matthew in the Old or the New Testament?
The New Testament.
That's right. So now the fun begins on step 3. The big number is the chapter. So chapter 14, that's the chapter. And then the itsy bitsy teeny number that you can hardly see, that's the verse. So 22 is the verse. This time it's going to be a little different. I'm going to ask you guys to read Matthew chapter 14, verse 22 through the end of chapter 14 by yourself with your families. And I'm going to just give you 2 key details that I thought was really cool. So, Jesus will always be there for you. You can always trust him. The second thing was, Jesus said, why did Peter doubt? Now Miss Stephanie is going to explain more about the story right now.
Hey guys, welcome back now to my kitchen, where we are going to do an experiment to show how when Peter tried to walk on water and when he had doubts, he started to sink. And you can do this experiment at your house too. All you need are some paper clips, a dish of water, and some dishwashing soap. For our experiment, we're going to think of these paper clips as people, or like our Bible story, like Peter who tried to walk on the water. All right, so I'm going to be very careful, and I'm going to see if I can get this paper clip, nope, that one didn't work, to float on the water. Let's see here. Can I get it to float? All right, so I don't think that's going to work. So what I did with this paper clip is I bent it, and we're going to think of this bent paper clip like faith in Jesus. So I'm going to be really careful, and we're going to see if we have a little faith here to help us, if I can get this to float. Now, when Peter was trying to walk on the water, as soon as he took his eyes off Jesus and he saw the wind and the waves, he sunk. So our dish detergent was the doubt that entered into Peter's mind. And as soon as it entered the water or his mind, that's when he sank. All right, so have fun trying that experiment at home. But it's important to know that at times we all have questions about our faith, and that we all sometimes have these little doubts. That's okay, that means we're growing in our faith. But I just want you to know that the more questions you ask and the more time you spend in the Word and in prayer, the closer and closer you're going to grow closer to Jesus. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.